Yes.
Ready.
It's going to get rowdy. Are you sure you're ready for this?
Oh, yes, we're ready.
Oh,
We're
I wasn't ready.
We're ready.
Yeah, now we're ready. Yay! Okay, well, day 3 interviews are continuing here at Quilt Market, Kansas City. We're having a blast. We're making it fun. I'm Rob Appel from Michael Miller Fabrics, and I'm going to let my 2 guests introduce themselves because I know Nancy, and I've forgotten the young lady in the middle here's name, so I'm in trouble. Let's start off with you, Pat.
I'm Patty.
I did remember.
Yes, you did. Okay, I am Patty.
Okay. Patty, where are you from?
Clinton Township, Michigan.
Okay. Nancy?
So Many Things Sewing Center in Clinton Township, Michigan.
Ooh.
That's what we're looking
Nancy.
for. Yeah, great. Okay, so shop owners, partner in crime.
Partners.
In crime.
Great. Okay, so then what is your specialty in the partnership?
Quilting.
Okay.
Quilting and teaching sewing machine.
Fan-
That's
fantastic.
my forte. Oh, and embroidery. Machine embroidery. That's
Sure.
my favorite.
So basically power tools.
Power tools, yes.
Okay.
Power tools, love them.
Nancy, your specialty?
And mine is garment fabric, garment sewing, fit, color, teaching, serger.
Right. So that fitting is a real specialty, isn't it? I mean, that requires a little extra skill.
It does. And it's fun to see a garment take shape and make a lady look much nicer when it fits properly.
No kidding. I have had more compliments on my t-shirts that I chose. I went to a band concert recently, bought a shirt, and it fit wonderfully. I loved it. So when I got to make these Making It Fun t-shirts, I went for that exact same blank of a t-shirt. Look how good I look in these t-shirts.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It's amazing. People, you've been working? I'm like, no, I just shrunk my t-shirt just right.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
Definitely different.
So that's one of the things they teach in pattern drafting is just wear smaller.
No. And I don't draft patterns. I just take existing patterns and help them fit your body better.
Right. And like you said, how important that is and how great we feel when we know we're looking our best, right?
Right, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so therefore you must sell both garment and quilting fabrics in your shops?
Yes, we do. We do a full line of
Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
We also do Michael Miller. We actually have the entire Fairy Frost.
Oh, fantastic. I'm a
absolutely love it.
longtime fan of Fairy Frost.
And we are also carry a lot of novelties and in Northcott. And we also do batiks.
Sure.
We have an assortment of batiks. We are a 4,000 square foot store. And we just brought in Cantique Batiks, a Canadian company. So we're very, very happy. We're brights. We're more of a modern, transitional. And we actually do carry a nice selection of fashion fabrics. Rayon, come on, help me out here with some of the stuff. Ponte.
ITYs, Pontes. We
Right.
carry the, real high quality Pontes. I can't
It's right. I mean, it knits, all that type of stuff. So we have a very nice selection for any type of flavor of someone that they like. So
Sure. So Nancy, have you played at all with Michael Miller's Cotton Couture on the garment side?
I have not.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to bringing that in so I can do that.
Have you handled it? Have you actually touched it?
I did just now.
Okay.
I love it.
When Kathy Miller developed it, it was really developed for that use as well. It's got that high density cotton, so it's going to drape well and all of that. So I was interested in your opinion on it. So you'll have to get back to all of us and let us know what you really think as a garment aficionado on the Cotton Couture that way. Okay, so what's the big up and coming exciting thing you're going to do next at your shop?
we are going to be doing, if I may here.
Oh, yeah.
We
Would you like to plug and promote one of our products?
Yes.
By all means.
We just got finished sitting into the class this morning with Susan, and the color theory is so colorful, and we absolutely loved it, to the point that we have so many customers coming in and saying, hey, can you help us match this? Can you help us do this? What do I do with this? What do I do with that? And we're pretty good with color. But when I saw this and how the spectrum worked and how it was, you could turn this into a beautiful color wall and a quilt that's right behind us, I just fell in love with it. See, can you see it?
Oh,
there it is.
yeah.
That I immediately went up to Susan and said, I want this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then, we're always looking for new, brighter, beautiful fabrics to bring in because our customers want it. And so I introduced her to the cotton couture. Is that it is?
It is.
I felt it, loved it. We're always looking for bringing in a new blender line, and everybody that carried your fabric said it was like, you got to have it. You got to have it, especially for making garments. And that's when I said, we've got to go this. So usually when we get stuff,
Right.
we have to agree first. This is one of those that I said, no, we're doing it right
We're
now.
just doing it right
She
now.
wasn't in class. So as soon as she had to touch it. If she touched it and I heard her, she says, we got it.
Oh, fantastic.
you.
So it worked out. We don't have any
Yes.
problems in the
No.
partnership any
No,
longer.
no, we're good.
That's great. Yeah, for me, when we first launched it, I think it was 8 or 10 years ago at Michael Miller Fabrics. At that point, my mom and I still had our quilt shop in California. And my mom carried home decor fabric, so our customers weren't as concerned about price point because the cotton couture, because of its density and its quality, is a little more expensive than a lot of the solids that are out there. And I have heard more times at Quilt Market, my customer won't pay that much for a solid, and I often think, have you given them the opportunity? Because your customer might be looking for a fantastic feeling, usable, draping piece of cotton, and that might be what they're really willing to look at. And then now modern quilting started up a few years later, and I make the joke, you'll pay $12 a yard for a print that happens every 27 inches, right? But you won't pay $10 a yard for a beautiful solid. You know?
Right. I think the difference is because usually solids were used for sashing and binding and things like that, and now they're becoming the centerpiece of the quilt. And so that makes a difference, and I think people will be willing to pay more for it because of that fact.
Yeah, and the centerpiece was a perfect term. I would have been calling it the magic or the secret sauce all week, because really bringing in the solids or the textures like the marble or the crystal or the fairy frost, something like that, really helps bring all of the colors from your theme prints, all of those other tones back together, and it's just that zinger that I really believe makes it come together. And you can't do that over the internet. You've got to do it in person. You've got to be in your local quilt shops matching those
Definitely,
up.
definitely. People want to feel and touch, and I think that is what
And the colors.
the magic
You
that
have to
puts
see
everything
the
together.
color.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, you've been terrific guests. I probably better get into the magic box of questions here. You're each on camera, so you each have to pull a question and read it and answer it. So, Pat, go ahead. I'll let you go first here. And Nancy, if you'll take yours.
I don't have to take the front one, right?
You don't have to take the front one, but I'll let you go first anyways. It must be a good one. Oh, no.
I know which one.
My favorite swear word and why? I can't say that on
Would you like to spell the first 2 letters?
F-U.
She didn't mean that personally. Just answering a question.
The reason why is because when I say that, they know I'm serious.
Right. My dear friend Sharon, who taught me a lot about machine embroidery, she did unfortunately recently pass away, but I think she was in her 90s. But her favorite swear word was sugar fudge. Because that one she could get away with in the middle of a class. She was a great sewing and quilting teacher, embroidery.
Say that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
swear.
No swearing in class.
She does her mouth.
Yeah. We got a bit of a sailor in Nancy, do we? All right, Pat. Well, let's see. You're laughing. Let's see what your question says.
Do you consider Monopoly to be a game that you play with friends or enemies? Let's just say I do not. I probably start with friends and I end up with enemies.
Oh, she's out to win.
So I am a very strong competitor.
You're a cutthroat Monopoly player.
Yes, type A and strong competitor, and I like to win.
Amen.
Do what I have to win.
Well,
Within reason.
that's right. I love the fact you're both here. I think that's going to make you both winners. Take a moment again and who wants to plug the shop? Nancy's turn? Okay.
Yes.
Tell
Thank
us all
you.
about the shop.
So Many Things Sewing Center in Clinton Township, Michigan. It is the place to be.
Fantastic. Do you have a website as well?
So Many Things Sewing SC, SoManyThingsSC.com.
Perfect. Thanks, Nancy. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. More interviews coming up each day.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.